Hey guys, here I am back talking again about weight loss and losing weight. Yep, again. I'm Sharon Smith, and I'm an expert in the mind-body connection. I have the ability to see energy fields and identify patterns in the human energy system, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff that you'll find out about if you follow me here. And speaking of following, you want to subscribe to me here. I produce a new video every single Saturday. But I want to jump right on in here. I am going to give you a big, huge piece of the weight loss problem. It's a missing piece. And I'm going to identify a pattern for you that I see in so many clients. And I'm going to use an example. I had a woman come to me, and it's been several years ago, and she wanted to work privately. And she had kind of a laundry list of symptoms. She had gallbladder stuff and I think knee stuff and, a whole bunch of different things. And yet when we got on that call, because there's a call, I want to make sure I can help you and that we're a good fit, almost the first words out of her mouth were, "Sharon, my number one problem is weight loss. I just need to lose the weight and then everything else is fine. That is just my number one problem. None of that other stuff matters." And I said, "Really?" And I said, "You understand that the extra weight is just the symptom. It's pain. It's no different than pain. It's no different than knee pain. It's just how it's showing up in your physical experience because you've got emotional stuff underneath it." And she said, "Well, I can't be okay until I lose the weight." And I said, "No, you can't lose the weight until you get okay." And it was this ping pong ball thing, back and forth. So in this call, within just a minute or two, she started talking about when she first started gaining the weight, which was as a child. And when she was about 10 or 11 or 12, right in there, her parents all of a sudden both started to be very, very critical of her. And they criticized everything. Her clothes, the way she looked, her hair, who she hung out, everything, just everything. And no big surprise, within a couple of years, that started to show up in her physical experience and she started to gain weight. This was as a teenager. And then she graduated high school and went to college. And her solution to this was to not spend very much time anymore with her parents. And her words were, "I didn't need that negativity in my life." And I said, "Okay. And did you lose the weight?" And she said, "Yeah, I did. I went on a diet in college and I looked great and I felt great and I lost the weight." And I said, "What else?" And then she described that she had a bad accident where she fell and injured her knee and injured her ankle, and she still has problems with that. And I said, "Okay." And then she met and fell in love with a guy in college, and she married this guy. And I said, "Okay, how'd that go?" And she said, "Well, not very well. It was a terrible marriage. He was really abusive. And I was married to him for about 4 or 5 years, and she said, he was so critical of me, of everything I did." I said, "Really? Are you seeing the pattern with this? Because I did." And I said, "Really? Who was doing that before?" And she got quiet. And I said, "Yeah, your parents. So now you've got a guy being critical of you." I said, "What happened with your weight?" And she said, "Well, I gained all the weight back." I said, "Okay." And she said, "And then a couple years into the marriage, I decided the weight was the problem. I went on a big diet and I lost that weight, 25 pounds or whatever it was. And I felt great about myself." And I said, Good for you." And then what happened? Did he quit being an asshole? And she said, "No, he was terrible. He thought I looked good, but he was critical of everything else." And she said, "And then I started having gallbladder trouble because I'd lost," she said, "I think it was from losing that weight and gaining it and losing it." No, it wasn't. Gallbladder problems come from bitterness and holding on to bitterness. And yeah, she had a real reason to be bitter. Anyway, she left. Moving ahead, she divorced this guy, left the marriage, and her weight is yo-yoed on and off for all these years. She was in her mid to late 40s when she came to me. And I said yes to her, and she said yes to me, and we worked together for 3 weeks and went in. And her issue with this, where the weight was coming on and coming off, I said, "Okay, here's the big clue. No one is being critical anymore of you. You're out of that marriage. You're not having anything much to do with your parents. So who's being critical of you?" Pay attention to yourself, folks. Your self-talk, folks, because she was now the one being critical of herself and controlling of herself. She had literally taken over the job that her parents had done and then the ex-husband had done to criticize herself, because that started in childhood. And when your parents do that, they're the ones who are supposed to love and protect you. They must be right. So there's a part of you that goes, okay, if they think I'm not good enough, they must be right. And you take that in and you hold on to that. And she was now beating herself up the same way that all these other people had. And you may be doing that too. Now, I've got to tell you, after I made the second weight loss video, I got called out by a weight loss coach, an exercise weight loss coach. And this person sells diet and exercise programs. And this person said, you have got to stop making people, you've got to stop misleading people, making them believe that diet and exercise don't matter. And that's not true. It's not what I teach, because eating well and moving your body are important things. But if you don't like yourself or love yourself enough to take good care of yourself, you're probably not going to do those things, right? Anyway, this person was really persistent and said, yeah, you got to stop talking about that. And I said, well, I'm probably not going to. I said, okay, people who come to you, they do lose weight, right? And said, yes, they do. They absolutely do. I said, but then they gain the weight back. Don't a lot of them gain the weight back? Do any of them just keep it off forever? Well, they gain it back. Sometimes they gain it back. And I said, really, why do you think that is? Well, they just stopped doing the program. And I said, okay, really, why do you think they stopped doing the program? Well, they need better accountability. They got lazy. They were just lazy. Okay, I don't think you're lazy. In fact, I know you're not. I think that's a terrible, awful, mean approach to just beat yourself. You've ended up in programs like that. Now, I'm not saying bad stuff about this coach. I'm really not. This is a nice person doing some good work. But stop. You got to stop being mean to yourself. Really stop being mean to yourself. So your next steps, go to the playlist for weight loss stuff. And it's down below this, and it's going to pop up here on the screen. Go do all of the work. Go watch those first two videos, especially that one that got me called out. Go do all the work in those and start feeling better about yourself. You may want to work privately with me. You can get on my calendar and have a conversation. I'll put the link below. So that's all I got for you today. Please look at where the patterns are playing out in your life. Please look. Subscribe to me here. I'll be back, and I'm going to see you soon. Take care. Keep tapping. Bye.